before we do our equivalent names for lesson 1-6, where we find names that are the same using adding and subtracting, we are going to do some quick look cards. Do you remember quick look cards?
Yeah.
No? Well, Angelina, you weren't here last year, so that's okay. But everybody else was here last year, and they hopefully remember quick look cards. So remember with quick look cards, let me flip to the screen. You're going to look at the card. You're going to count, like I'll give you a couple seconds, like 4 seconds to look at the card. And then I will call on a person who thinks they can tell me what they saw on the card and how much it was. Like what did they do to figure out to get the answer, okay? We don't need our markers and erasers just yet. Just put those off to the side. Right now you're just going to look at the screen. I'm going to show a quick look card. It's going to show a card with dots on it. And then after like 4 seconds, I'm going to take the card away and you have to tell me what did you see and how much was it.
It's like we did
Okay.
in first grade.
Just like you did in first grade. All right, here we go. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. Who thinks they could see how many dots there are on that card? And how much did they think it was? Angelina, I will be calling on you, just so you know. I'm not going to call on you this one time, but there are 3 quick look cards, and you're going to be one of the next 2, okay? So, oh, Zayden, I see your hand at home. How many did you think was on the card?
9.
9. How did you figure out there was 9 so fast?
Because it did not fill up the whole way.
Because it was not filled up the whole way. Very good. How much was missing? 1 was missing. So here is what Zayden said. Zayden said that he noticed there was 9. He said that the card was not filled up the whole way. He noticed that there was 1 missing right here in the box. So he knew that the whole card, Zayden, how much would the whole card have been if it was all filled up?
10.
It would have been 10. So he knew right away, if it has all the dots, it's supposed to be 10, but 1 less than 10 was 9. Fantastic, Zayden. All right, here we go. Another one. Ready? 3, 2, 1. All right. How many did we see this time? How many did we see this time? Jake?
5.
5? How did you know there was 5?
I counted them.
You counted each one? Okay, fantastic. Did anybody else know there was 5 without counting all the dots? Oh, here, let me let Valerie in real quick. Okay. Did anybody else know there was 5 without counting all the dots? Jose, you knew there was 5? What did you do to see that there was 5 without counting all the dots?
5 were missing.
5 were missing. Oh, yes. So that was another way of doing it. Anybody else have another way of figuring out 5 without counting all the dots? Gwen?
We know that 5 plus 5 equals 10, and all we have to do through it is when it pulled up, we didn't look at the other side. We had to look at both sides to make sure that how many they were.
Right. So Gwen and Jose kind of did the same idea. They both knew that if they looked at the whole card and there was 10, there would be 5 on one side and 5 on the other side, and that 5 plus 5 was 10. So they kind of had the same idea, maybe doing it a little bit differently in their brains. You could do it that way, because we already know if we fill up one whole card, it's 10 dots. And then, or we could do it the way Jake did it. Jake counted real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Either way. But I'm going to let you know. If you're still counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right now, if you're counting all the dots, pretty soon it's going to be 2 cards. 2 10 frames. We call it a double 10 frame.
Yeah.
So pretty soon there's going to be a lot more dots to count in a smaller amount of time. So now it's time to start recognizing patterns. This whole thing should be 5. So it would be 5 and 5 more. If one whole side is missing, then there only must be 5 left. Okay? We're going to start counting pattern counting. All right, we have 1 more to go.
Yay.
3, Look. All right. Woo! Who thinks they know what it was? Oh, Angelina, I see your hand up. Fantastic. Angelina says there were 6. How'd you know there were 6, Angelina?
Because I saw 3 on that side and 3 on the other.
Ooh.
And 3 plus 3 equals 6.
Wow, Angelina recognized the doubles fact with that one. Fantastic, Angelina. You'll be ready when we do doubles facts. She said there was 3 on the left side and 3 on the right side, and she knows the doubles fact 3 plus 3 is 6. Did anybody else know there were 6 but find it out in a different way? Gwen, what did you do to find it out?
Look at both sides and see how many there were. And I counted in my head how many there were on each side, and I added them up, and there was the 6.
Okay, so you went like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, counted all together. Okay, that's good. But remember, like I just said, pretty soon it's going to be a double tens frame. So we're going to start doing some other kind of pattern counting so that we don't have to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Anybody else know that there were 6, but they didn't count by ones or do a doubles fact, which I think is still fantastic. Rosemary, what did you do, hon?
What I did was I started counting the 2s until there was 3 2s, and that meant that there was 6.
All right, fantastic. That's what I was looking for because we are practicing our pattern counting already. She counted by 2s. She noticed that they were side by side. There's 2 of them together, so she went 2, 4, 6, or maybe she started at the top and went down. 2, 4, 6. There was still another way that you could figure out that there was 6 here without counting the dots. Anybody have that idea? Jose, what did you think?
I looked up both of those 3 circles, and I looked out those 4, those 4 were not covered.
Right. Jose noticed that there was 4 that were missing. So he knew that if he started at 10 and there were 4 missing, then there must have been 6 left. And that's good to remember because that's one of the things we're going to do next week when we make 10s. Is we're going to find all the numbers we can put together just to make 10. Fantastic. Good thinking. Nice job, brains. Give your brain a nice pat. Good job, brain. Thank you so much. Good work. All right. Now, with our math message today, what I'd like you to do is I want you to write down the name of someone at home. Even if you're not in your home right now, you can still write down the name of somebody at home. So on your dry erase board, do that first. Write down the name of somebody at home or somebody that would be at your home if they weren't working right now. Because maybe that person is at work. That's okay. Somebody who lives in your house with you. Write down the name of that person. If you're not sure how to spell it, just do it the best you can. Don't worry about spelling. Spelling does not count in math class. Unless it's your own name. Then I'd be a little worried. But I think now we can spell our own name. So write down the name of somebody at home. Hayden, write down the name of somebody at home. Just one person? One name? Okay. All right, so I'm going to give you an example of somebody at my home. Let me write down a name. Somebody at my home is named Luke.
Yeah.
Okay? That's somebody that is in my home. So I wrote down that person's name. Now, everybody have a name?
Yes.
Everybody at home have a name? Thumbs up if you have a name on your board. Okay, fantastic, fantastic.
Let's write that.
Now, I want you to come up with other names for that person. Leave that name there. I don't want you to write Luke on your board. That was my name. Don't write Luke on your board. Pick one person. You already have this person. Erase Luke on your board. But you have to pick one person. So erase Luke on your board. You already had Mom. Leave Mom.
Oh, I don't have my eraser.
You should have gotten it out already, like I asked. Get it out now, please. Okay. So So now you have this person. Now I want you to write down, leave this on your board, other names that you might call this person. So maybe they have a nickname. Like in my house, Luke's nickname is Luca.
What?
We call him Luca. Okay? So that's another name that Luke has. And I don't know if I spelled Luca right. I'm just sounding it out. He also sometimes goes by Lukey. Okay? So that's another name that he has. He also goes by Son.
Oh, yeah.
Because he is my son. He also goes by Bruh. Because, believe it or not, that's what his brother calls him. Bruh. Okay? Or, if he's nice, he might call him Bro. Or he might call him Brother. Sometimes I call him Dude. Especially when I'm a little irritated, I might be like, come on, dude. Let's go, dude. Okay? So on your board, I would like you to write down other names. Keep the first name you have there, but what are other things that you call that person? Okay? Maybe it's your sister. Maybe if it's your mom actually has a real name, believe it or not. It's shocking. Your dad actually has a real name. Your grandparents actually have real names. Okay? Write down other names for that person. Okay? Sometimes we call him Lukers. Sometimes I call him Smarty McSmarty Pants. Smarty McSmarty Pants. Oops, I didn't spell that one right, so I'm going to use my little eraser here. Now, I'm going to give you about a minute to do that, even if you don't get them all down. I'll give you about a minute to put some names on. Smarty McSmarty Pants. We could also say that he is a cousin or a grandson. There's all different kinds of names that Luke has. Look at all those names I'm coming up with Luke so far. Okay? So this is the person, right? So is this person your brother and your mom? No, so we're not writing bro or mom, okay? You're writing other names for this person. So is this person what? Your sister? Your aunt? Your uncle? Who is this person? Okay, so then you would write sister or sis. Okay? Don't erase her name, but write sis too, because that's another name for her. Okay? You can sound out sister. Sister. Okay? All right, I'll give you another 30 seconds or so, and then we're going to share some of the names that we came up with. Another 15 seconds or so. I appreciate that you're trying to sound out. That's a good job. And don't worry if the spelling is wrong. It's not a big deal. I'm not worried about that. Okay. Let's go over some of the names of the people that we have in our homes and what are some other names that they might have. So is there a friend that would like to share what they have on their board? Valerie, why don't you go ahead and share with us what you have on your board?
That's Kaylee.
Okay.
Kay.
Okay. Now,
Sister.
right, very good. I was just going to see, I know who Kaylee is, but I didn't know if everybody else knew that it was your sister. Very good. What else? Anything else? No? Well, she would be your mom's daughter too, right? Just like you are, right? So that could also be another name for her. Good job. Anybody else want to share a person they have at their home and the names that they might have? Logan, go ahead.
It's my mom, and one of her nicknames is Mom, and Beth.
Okay, so Logan says at home is Mom. Sometimes they call her Mommers. Sometimes they call her Mom. And sometimes they call her Best. Fantastic. See, there's a bunch of different names for the same person. Zayden, would you like to share someone at home?
My mom really named Carrie, and then sometimes mommy, and then she, and then mama.
Okay, fantastic. So your mom is named Carrie, but you also call her Mama or she or Mommy, right? Fantastic. Rosemary, would you like to share?
This is my baby sister Aria.
Okay.
And fire escape hand because she always escapes my bedroom.
Oh my goodness. That's a good name for her then. So she's like an escape artist. Fantastic. Awesome sauce. All right, I'm going to call one more friend. Angelina, who do you have?
I have my sister Emily, and sometimes we call her Emma, Emily Jagarian, sister, and M.
Fantastic. So your sister Emma has a lot of names too. Emily Jagarian, sister, M. So let me ask you this question. Do you have a lot of names?
Yeah.
Yes. Believe it or not, you have more than one name because you have your name like Caden or Derek or Jose or Alina or Gwen or Angelina or Logan or Zayden or Jake or Valerie or Kinsley or Rosemary or Mrs. Tucker. But we all have other names that people call us too. We have nicknames. I'll give you a little secret. You want to know what my nickname was as a kid? First of all, do you know what my first name is?
No. Tucker.
That's my last name, but that was a very good guess. That was a very good guess. Gwen, do you know what my first name is?
Deborah.
My first name is Deborah. Actually, it's pronounced Deborah, believe it or not. But it is Deborah. A lot of people say Deborah, but it is Deborah. Which is okay. I don't care either way. When I grew up, people usually called me Debbie. But my name at home was Webby with a W.
Really?
So instead of being called Debbie with a D, they called me Webby with a W. And they would say, Webby, do you want to go outside? Webby, it's time to eat. I don't know why I was Webby, but that's what they called me a lot of the time. Okay? All right. So, but my point is that we all have a bunch of different names. Numbers are the same way. We've been practicing that with our morning meeting where we write all those different ways to say that number. Numbers are the same way. So let me click on my next screen here. All right, now, so today we're going to come up with different ways to name the number 10. We'll start with something easy. We'll just use 10. Let me grab my book here. You can erase your boards. Let me grab my book here so that I can keep myself in order. Now, making names for 10 is something we do a lot in second grade. So it'll be really good to have that in our brains because it'll make it real easy to do third grade math, believe it or not. It's one of those really, really, really important things for us to learn in second grade is making 10s. Use the black side, it'll erase it a lot better than the blue side. There you go, fantastic. Okay, so I want to show you something of how we could make names of 10. Well, first of all, let me call on some friends, see if they can come up with a way that we can make 10. Now, I want to only think of ways that we can add or subtract right now, okay? I know we've practiced other ways by using tally marks and dots and things like that. But I want us to start thinking in our brain some adding problems or subtracting problems to help us make 10. So we want to see either the plus sign or the minus sign in all of our problems. So One way that we could make, or we could name 10. What's one problem that we could use to name 10? Alina?
9 plus 1.
9 plus 1. Let me put that one right here. 9 plus 1. And I'm doing this for a reason why I'm putting it over here on the side. I'll show you my pattern in just a little bit. Any other ways we can name 10? Jose?
20 minus 10.
I could do 20 minus 10. I'm going to put that one over here because it's a subtraction problem. 20 minus 10. The reason why I'm doing that is because I want to show you a pattern in a little bit. Any other ways that I can name 10, Jake?
5 is 1.
5 plus 5, that's one of my favorites. I'm going to put that one down here. There's a reason why I'm putting it here in a second. I'll show it to you in a minute. 5 plus 5 is a way to name 10. Angelina, do you have another way you can name 10?
19 minus 9.
19 minus 9. I'll put this one off to the side. Nice subtraction problem. Very good. Hey, Derek, put your lid on top of your marker so it doesn't dry out.
Mommy.
All right, what else can we do to name the number 10? Rosemary.
You can do 10 minus 0.
I could do 10 minus 0, and I could do 10 plus 0. So I'm going to put them both down here. I'm going to do a 10 plus 0. And I'm going to put my minus off to the side, 10 minus 0. Because remember when we add or subtract nothing, the number stays the same. And 0 means absolutely nothing. Right? Gwen, what's another one?
20 minus 10.
20 minus 10 we've got right here. Logan, what's another one?
110 minus 100.
I could do 110 minus 100. I'm putting it off to the side where my subtraction problems are. Gwen, now, let me call on you one more time. What do you think this time?
8 plus 2.
8 plus 2. I'm going to put that one right here. Now, I'm going to change the color of my pen so that you can see the other ones that we can come up with. And I bet you once I start doing the rest of these, all of a sudden in your brain's going to start going ding, ding, ding. Wait a minute, I know some more. So let me change the color of my pen here. And I'm going to start with 0 plus 10. 1 plus 9. Whoops, I made that a no plus sign. Let me erase that real quick. 1 plus 9. 2 plus 8. 3 plus 7. Is any of this starting to look familiar? 4 plus 6. And I already have 5 plus 5. 6 plus 4. 7 plus 3. And I have 8 plus 2, 9 plus 1, and 10 plus 0. Does any of that look familiar? Have you ever seen them before? Thumbs up if you've seen those before. Fantastic. I should see all thumbs up because I know I actually checked with the first grade teachers. And I know y'all done did this in first grade. So I know you've seen it before, but I want you to notice a pattern. So Kate, it would be a great idea right now, put that marker down and eraser and look up here so you can notice this pattern. Because these are very important ones to know. Here we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Oh.
Look at that! It started at 0 and counted up to 10. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now I want you to look at the other side. The other side, let me get another color here. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Look how easy that was. Wasn't that fantastic? That's another pattern to help our brains remember. When we are making tens, we can start with 0 and go down our column. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Make our plus signs, our adding signs, And then do it again, only starting with 10. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And we've made 11 different names for the number 10, just like that. How fantastic is that? Yes, Alina?
Can you do it with minus?
You probably could do it with minus, but today I want to just focus on the adding ones, okay? I want to focus just mainly on the adding ones, all right? Isn't that fantastic? All right, so let me click on here. All right, I do not like the broken calculator problems, okay? And they have them in our books, and I'll be honest with you. The broken calculator problems, there's really no reason to learn how to do them. So we kind of skip that part because it doesn't really teach us anything, because I have never had a calculator where the buttons are broken. So I don't know you're ever going to have a calculator where the buttons are broken. So we can skip over that part. So I'm going to click on my screen here, 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 click on my screen there. Now, let me ask this question to kind of summarize our lesson, try to bring it all together. Why do you think it's important to come up with different names for things, especially numbers? Why do you think it's important to do that? Anybody have an idea? Is there a reason why I'm coming up with different ways? Or am I just doing it just because I think it's a good idea to just practice it today? Why do you think, Angelina?
Wait, what?
Why do you think it's important to learn how to come up with, or why do you think it's important to practice or learn how to come up with different names for numbers? Why is that important?
Because without numbers with our names, then we couldn't add or minus or plus.
I like your way of thinking. Yes. I'm going to change the words just a little bit. Angelina said without knowing numbers for names, we couldn't add or subtract or minus or plus. Okay? I want to add to it a little bit more. One of the ways that helps us remember how to add and subtract is coming up with different names. Okay? So by learning different ways to add and subtract to get a number, that's helping us practice those adding and subtracting skills. So that's why we practice coming up with different names, to help our brains start to think a little bit more about math and to get them ready for adding and subtracting. Capiche?
Capiche.
Capiche. Okay. So today, friends at home, we have spring math to do. So at home, you're going to be working on your extra math. And I think your math seeds are part of your assignment too. So make sure, friends at home, that you're going into your extra math and doing your lessons. And doing one lesson until he tells you that you're done, and also working on your math seeds, okay? Any questions before I send you off? Zayden.
Last time I did it, the guy didn't pop up.
The guy didn't pop up? Okay, then you probably weren't done.
What?
Did it say you are done at the top of the screen?
I think so.
Okay.
It said default.
Because sometimes he has you keep going, and sometimes it'll say you are done. When you see those words, you are done, then you are done, okay? Sometimes he says them, and sometimes they just show up on the screen. Any other questions before I send you on your way?